So now we know that the hack there's no evidence of the hack of the DNC did by the Russians. That is an exfiltration. We know that. They're just giving you their own words. I know that's a conspiracy theory for liberals listening. And I'm also telling you that their main charge was retracted about the hacking of the Ukrainian military equipment. Now let's find out who Sean Henry is, and let's find out Pelosi's connection. Because again, you always need to follow the money, right? If you're interested in real journalism. This is another fascinating story I saw this weekend at Real Clear Politics, written by Aaron Mate, who, just let me tell you before I get started with this piece, Crowdstrike, Nancy Pelosi, they're back. Again, Aaron Mate is not a conservative reporter. He, I would say, leans left. I mean, I don't want to characterize him as anything because he does actual journalism. But Aaron Mate has been one of the few guys out there, despite any ideological friction in his head, who's done honest reporting on the whole Spygate scandal. This is not a conservative reporter. He's starting and has been, he's not starting, he's been asking questions for a long time like, hey, listen, man, this Spygate thing sounds like kind of a big deal. When are you media people going to pipe up and say, hey, we got a problem? This piece is a must read. It's in my show notes today. Bongino.com/newsletter. Bongino.com/newsletter. That's how you access the newsletter. That is the show notes. They're the same thing. This article will be in there. October 8, 2020, Aaron Mate, Real Clear Investigations. Forgive me, I said Real Clear Politics. Pelosi's take a big stake in Crowdstrike, the Democrat-connected linchpin of the Russia probe. Wait, what? You know what just still puzzles me, astonishes me, upsets me, and probably you as well? It's really amazing that the leftist hacks in the media will invent financial conundrums the Trumps find themselves in that they have no evidence of at all. Financial conflicts. Oh my gosh, the Trumps, they were going to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. You mean the Trump Tower that never happened and never got off the ground and there were no contracts signed or anything? They were going to do that. So that's definitely evidence of Russian collusion, despite the fact that the Trumps build Trump Towers all over the world and they do real estate. Yet when you have a powerful Democrat like the Speaker of the House, who's a family member of hers, has a 7-figure investment in the same company that basically created the Russia hoax, Crowdstrike, nobody in the media outside of Aaron and others seem to care at all. Incredible. Let's go to the piece, screenshot number 1, and let's ask this question first before we dig into this. Don't ever forget, ladies and gentlemen, the allegation that Russia hacked the DNC was the linchpin to the whole collusion probe. Because then the hacked Democrats came back and said, after Russia hacked the DNC, they colluded with Trump to get the information out there to hurt Hillary Clinton. None of that's true. Here, from the Real Clear Investigations piece, quote, in early 2017, Crowdstrike was forced to retract its allegation that Russia had hacked Ukrainian military equipment with the same malware the firm claimed to have discovered inside the DNC server. This is critical. Why did I put this first? The screenshots are out of order in the piece for a reason. I want to set it up first before we get to Pelosi. We're actually going to wrap with that. We're going to do it in reverse here. We'll get to Pelosi's financial interest at the end. But I want you to understand how key Crowdstrike, this tech company, was to the whole collusion hoax. The FBI never went in and investigated the DNC servers. Never. You understand that, right? Crowdstrike, an independent company with strange ties everywhere and being run by a former Mueller confidant, Bob Mueller confidant. Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. Crowdstrike looked at the Democrat servers. It was Crowdstrike that said, hey, we think the Russians hacked these servers, the Democrat servers, because the malware used resembled a piece of malware used to hack Ukrainian military equipment in the past. Go back. Can you go back to screenshot 1? Well, what's the problem with that? I just want to so we have this down. That was, well, is it the exact malware? Did we see it? Well, in early 2017, Crowdstrike was forced to retract its allegation that this same malware that was used to hack the Ukrainians was used and found inside a DNC server? Yeah, you read that correctly, folks. That was the basis for the allegation that the Russians hacked the DNC server. Joe, please tell me you're getting it. Paula, you getting this? I know, well, Paula's, you're not. Yeah, I love my wife, but you're useless in this one because she's super smart with the internet. So this all makes sense to her. But to people who are not super smart with the interweb, like Joe and I, this makes sense, right, Joe?
Like me.
Yeah, FBI never says the DNC hacked the servers, right? They don't look at it. They're relying on Crowdstrike saying it. Crowdstrike looks at the server and says, here's how we know we found this malware. Oh, okay. And it's the same malware the Russians used to hack the Ukrainian military equipment. Except they retracted that, Crowdstrike.
Aha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You didn't hear that one, did you? Thank you, by the way, people comment on my Facebook videos. Like, we love Dan's facial expressions. It's not intentional. I'm genuinely puzzled, too. So the key allegation that links the Russians to the hack has been retracted. Yes, but you're not going to hear that anywhere outside of this show, Aaron Mate and people who care about the truth. Yes, that's correct. That's why whenever on this show I mention the DNC, air quotes, hack by the Russians, I put the dreaded air quotes in there because nobody knows that. Yet it's the key component to the collusion hoax. Russians hacked it, gave the information to Trump. All fake. Okay. So now we know that that part has been retracted and that nobody really knows who hacked the DNC yet. You may say this can't possibly get any worse. Oh yeah, don't worry. It definitely does. The hack, so just to follow through on the lunatic collusion hoaxer's allegation, the Russians allegedly hacked the DNC and then took the data, in other words, exfiltrated the data, took it out for the liberals listening, and gave it to the Trump team, and they put it out there to embarrass Hillary and win the election. That's their charge, right? Now, Joe, an exfiltration or taking of the data would require what? Would require evidence that the data from the DNC was actually exfiltrated?
Yes,
Joe. Okay, thank you. I know you had to think about that. So if they stole the data, you'd actually have to show the data made it out of the DNC server. I'm just checking. So clearly there's evidence of that, even though there's no evidence of the malware Ukrainian thing. They had to retract that. No, there's actually no evidence of that either. Let's go back to Aaron Mate's terrific piece because this is really spectacular. So unsealed testimony from the House Intelligence Committee shows that Sean Henry, who was running CrowdStrike, admitted under oath behind closed doors in December 2017 that the firm, quote, here's a quote, folks, for liberals listening, that means that the guy in charge of CrowdStrike actually said this, quote, that the firm did not have concrete evidence that Russian hackers actually stole any emails or other data from DNC servers. Wait, what? It goes on. It goes on. Here's another quote, again, for the libs listening. That means he actually said this. Quote, CrowdStrike guy. There's circumstantial evidence, but no evidence that they were actually exfiltrated, Sean Henry said. So we spent 4 years investigating a collusion hoax based on a Russian hack where they exfiltrated data to Russia from the DNC servers, but there's actually, quote, no evidence of the exfiltration? I'm doing a lot of scratching of facial areas today. I'm just kind of puzzled here as to, again, how we live with the Pravda-like media that you're all convinced out there, many, even Republicans, that there's evidence of this Russian hack because you've been told it by media supposedly interested in the truth. And outside of Aaron Mate, nobody's actually telling you the truth, that there's actually no evidence of that.
Yeah.
It should be niet, but it's da, which you need piva to get over this. Piva. Yeah. For you Russian speaking, I'm a terrible, what is it, Yanni Gavru Peruski or something. I don't understand what you're saying. I used to have to say that when I was in Russia. Oh no, Bob Mueller's coming for me too. Maybe I exfiltrated. Joe was in Russia too. We're all colluders these days. My gosh. Shockingly, folks, this gets worse. Listen, I'm going to get to my third sponsor because there's two more nuggets from this piece. I want to describe to you. So now we know that the hack there's no evidence of the hack of the DNC did by the Russians. That is an exfiltration. We know that. I'm just giving you their own words. I know that's a conspiracy theory for liberals listening. And I'm also telling you that their main charge was retracted about the hacking of the Ukrainian military equipment. Now let's find out who Sean Henry is, and let's find out Pelosi's connection. Because again, you always need to follow the money, right? If you're interested in real journalism.
You just heard Dan Bongino.